Hello, this is Mr. Evilcheese, and this is my review of the Hasbro Star Wars Black 6-inch scale Luke Skywalker and Wampa action figure. Zzz. Now I was pretty excited about this one because I already got the taun-taun with Han Solo, and I knew this one was coming out. And I was like, man, this one looks a little cooler than the taun-taun because the taun-taun didn't really look as detailed as I would like. And it kind of looked like this Wampa was a little more detailed. And it is from what I could tell looking in the package. So that's awesome. But let's look at the package. So there it is. Nice big box. Now I got this in a mail from Amazon. See, they got Luke in there packaged upside down, but I guess in shipment he popped out of there, so that kind of sucks. They went all that trouble to put him in there upside down and he's just loose. There. And up there in the corner they just have a picture of Luke. I would have put the Wampa there. And there's a picture of him getting drugged by the Wampa through the snow. And a little description up there that says, while on patrol, Luke was screwed around until this big albino Bigfoot knocked him off his kangaroo horse and drug him into a cave. And here's a quote from Luke from the movie. It says,
"Steady. Hey, steady girl. Hey, what's the matter? Do you smell something?"
I guess it's time to open this thing up. Oh shit, age is 4+. So if you're like 3, you can't get this. Because look, small parts not for children. You'll choke on this thing and die. Look how, you can swallow that thing whole for your little kid. Okay, well, let's open this up. Alright, there it is, all opened up. And I'm pretty happy with the Wampa. And also the Luke. The Luke is a really well done Luke. I do have some gripes with the Wampa. And not really any gripes with the Luke that I could see, but I'm going to have to go over it a little more here. But for the most part, I really like the Wampa. That's the main reason I wanted this set, and it doesn't really disappoint too much. There's a couple things that bug me, but for the most part, I like it. So I'm going to go over him first, because this is what I was most excited about when getting this set. Now, the first thing that I noticed was, I'm like looking at this arm like, oh, that arm is articulated like most of the Black Series figures. It's got the sort of ball joint type thing, and it's, you can make it go out like that, make it spin around. Well, I guess it's not really a ball joint, but you know what I mean. And then I'm looking at this one like, it's not the same. What's going on with this arm? I'm like, oh, you could chop it off. That's the point of this. I mean, that's why it's not like that. You can make it pop out like that. They got like the red bloody meat in there. I mean, it does kind of suck though, that like you got the big hole there and then you got this big peg sticking out there. Almost kind of wish you can pop this peg out. And they'd have some little inserts you can stick in there. That'd be kind of cool. But still, just the thought that you can, make his arm get cut off because Luke cuts it off in the movie. That's just a really cool little touch they did there. I like that. I also really like that he has all this blood all over his face because, I don't know, these toys just seem kind of PG-13-ish, I guess. So to have the blood on here, you don't see the blood on too many of the Star Wars figures. I mean, I guess it's because there's not a whole lot of blood in the movies, but I don't know, it's just surprising to see something that's got blood all over it. And I really like it. I think that's awesome. And I think that's the blood from the Wampa. He must have ate the Wampa. And I really like the fur on this, because that's the problem that bothered me about the taun-taun. And here's the taun-taun right here. It just seems like they didn't try as hard on this thing's fur. Like, it just bothered me. Like the smaller version, the 3 3¾ scale version, just seemed to have a little more detail than this one, and that bothered me. This, it did pretty good. Like, it reminds me of Chewbacca. And I'll compare him to Chewbacca. They got the same sort of joints that are hidden by the fur, and the way they made the fur come down. They made the fur overlap the fur below it. I really like the way they did that. It looks really cool. And it works on both of these figures. It's also cool to see these two together, because Chewbacca's huge, he's a huge furry creature, and then you got this huge furry creature. But yeah, I imagine that it should be a little bigger than Chewbacca, which it is. And it'd be cool to see them fight. Doesn't seem like Chewbacca would stand much of a chance if he had no weapons, but still, it'd be cool to see. Now the face is pretty cool. It's really weird, like almost all of the preview pictures for the Wampa showed the horns not painted. like they were just white like the rest of his fur. I'm like, why are they doing that? Like even pictures of it in the package that I've seen showed these white, and I'm like, you mean they're seriously not going to paint them? But then I get the actual figure and it's painted, so that's good. That kind of worried me. I mean, I could just paint it myself if it wasn't, but still, I just thought that was odd. The paint around his face could be a little better though. Like his nose is just, his nose and around his eyes are just like got that yellow. It's just like cheaply painted on, it seems. Like his lips too. Like a little more shading or something in there. But not many of the Black Series figures are shaded, so it's not that surprising that it's not. But there is like some sort of shading going on in the fur, and I'm not even sure if that's paint or if that's just the plastic. Because you can see it's like white up here, and then kind of down at the bottom here it gets a little more yellow. And it's sort of yellowish in there. Like I guess it's more like an off-white. So I don't know. I do like the color on this. Overall, I like the color. It's just on the face, when you look at the fine detail, it's not as nice. Like the horns, they could have a little more paint in there too, I think. But and he is pretty articulated for such a huge, bulky, furry figure. And it's not like super articulation, but it's still pretty freaking good for this size of this thing. And this leg is, this knee is really stiff. I'm thinking I must not go any further than that. Well, that one goes almost 90 degrees. What's wrong with this one? Must be stuck. Well, I ain't gonna force it. But still, look at that. You can make this guy do karate kicks. So that's pretty good articulation, I'd say, for a Wampa. And he's also got, he spins at 2 spots on his torso here, right there, and right there. So that's really cool. And like I was showing the arm earlier, you can see what the shoulder can do, but it can also spin around a lot at the elbow. Lots of articulation there. And even a little bit at the wrist. And the head, I messed with this earlier, you can only turn it about that much. Turn it any further and that happens. So that's about all you can do here. And yeah, there's a joint there on the leg to spin it around. A joint there, the knee to spin it around. And then it can go out like that, about that far at the hips. That forward, that much far further and back. Then the knee can go about a 90 on this one. I'm thinking it's just mine's stuck. It won't go all the way on that leg. Then you got the ankle articulation, which is really nice ankle articulation for a huge figure like this. Spin. Can it spin? Yeah, it could spin. It could tilt. Go forward and backwards. Really nice articulation on this thing. I'm very happy with this Wampa. And then we got Luke dangling back there. I kind of wish they came with like a little ice display or something. That would have been cool to have him hanging in it instead of just, you know, you can't really do it. You have to build it yourself or something. I think the smaller figures came with one, but imagine if they would have included that with this. This set would have been a lot more. But what is this, the 5th? Yeah, I think this is the 5th Star Wars Black 6-inch Luke that they have made. And it's another pretty good one. The face isn't amazing. Like, I don't think the face really looks that much like Luke. I mean, I could tell it's him, but it just, the likeness isn't as good as the others, I don't think. It probably has a lot to do with you can't see his hair, and I don't know. It just doesn't look like him to me. But the outfit is done really well. There's really nice articulation in there. Double jointed knees. Lots of articulation down at the ankle. Good articulation at the elbows and up at the shoulders. Good torso articulation. Head articulation is, oh, it's limited. You can basically just look back and forth. It's weird. I don't know why you can't really move. Oh, there we go. He's just kind of stuck. That's all. He was stuck. So yeah, he does have pretty good articulation. And yeah, you can spin at the wrist. Well, sort of the wrist, forearm, I guess. So that's really cool. They gave him a little cloth piece hanging here. I don't know. I guess that works for a cloth piece. I don't know if that would have been better in plastic or not. I think it's alright on this one. The sculpt is pretty good on this too. They got the checkers on there. They got his little, I don't know what that be, his rank or something. Just random things on his belt. And got like a little microphone or ear thingy on his head. And I like the way they did the cuts on his face. I'm not sure if they're actually I'm not sure if they're actually sculpted on there. I think it's just paint, but that's fine. It looks really cool. Looks like his face is all irritated from the scratches. Yeah, this is a pretty well done figure. I'm pretty happy with it. Except for the face. Like I said, the face ain't so great. I'll do some comparisons to the other Lukes right here in a second. So there's all the Lukes that they've made so far. And I'd say this one's probably my favorite still. I think this one's just so well done. The face just looks awesome. And the suit's just really well done. They pretty much use the same head on this one, I think. So I'm still liking that. And that Stormtrooper body's pretty cool. But still, this one's my favorite, I'd say. This would probably actually be my second favorite. Well, the Stormtrooper one doesn't really count because it's basically Stormtrooper body, but out of these four, I'd say this one, then unfortunately this one, then this one. Because the Luke's, I don't like this Jedi Luke. His body's too scrawny looking, the face is terrible. I don't know, I think they need to redo this one. Because this one I think should be my favorite, but it's not. Here's Hoth Han and Hoth Luke next to each other. And that looks awesome. But seeing these together just really makes me think they need to have another version of Han's taun-taun with his stomach cut open, and so I can shove Luke in there. That'd be awesome. Okay, Luke's accessories are his blaster, which you can stick into his little holster there, which doesn't seem to want to go in at the moment. There, well, I don't feel like unpopping that. You can unpop that and stick that in there, I think. And it comes with his little lightsaber. This is the one that's laying in the snow, and he's trying to use his force powers to grab it. And it also does come with the little blue light thing. I don't know what you call the light part of it, but yeah. So that's cool. It comes with pretty much everything I think he should come with. And he's got some weird shoes. Look like some kind of weird gladiator shoes or something mixed with American Indian moccasins. So there's Luke and Wampa facing off. That just looks awesome. I really like this. Both figures are pretty well done, I'd say. And there's after he chops his arm off. I think I might paint this red. Should be red. And there, just in case you want to see it, I put Luke on Han's taun-taun, so you can see him right before he gets attacked by the Wampa. Well, I'm pretty happy with this set. I think it's really well done. I really like the Luke, I really like the Wampa. The detail and articulation is both really good. I'd say the major gripes I have is Luke's face is a little eh, and some of the paint around the face of the Wampa could be a little better. But other than that, I'd say these are both really well done figures. I like them a lot. So, this is Mr. Evilcheese. Thanks for watching, and pick these figures up if you're a fan of Star Wars Black 6-inch scale figures. And trying to think of something Star Warsy to say. All too easy? Yeah, that works. Okay. Damn it! Chewbacca couldn't just let that thing eat me! This is torture!
Oh, damn it, man! You see them other pictures there? Why don't you click on one of them to see the video? Or you could subscribe and eat. Oh!